Hi, this is Mark Cherry, creator and executive producer of Desperate Housewives. Here with the magnificent Felicity Huffman, who plays Lynette Scavo on my show. And we're going to be doing a little Q&A using questions from actual fans who've written into abc.com. And we're going to be answering some of these questions for you now. Did you have to audition for the role of Lynette Scavo, or was the part written with you in mind?
No, actually, I had to audition. Why am I telling you? You were there. Like everybody else, there was word around town, as there often is with hot scripts, and it was Desperate Housewives, Desperate Housewives. You have to read it. I read it. I loved it. One rainy day, I thought I pulled myself together very well.
You were a mess. You were a mess.
I left 2 screaming kids in the bathtub. I took a shower, okay, which is tantamount to climbing a mountain. And I went in and auditioned and talked about how difficult motherhood was. And later they told me that I looked like a mess. What do you have planned for Gail Harold? Will he return?
Well, here's the thing with Gail. The good news is that after suffering, a serious motorcycle accident back in, I believe it was October, Gail has made a really terrific recovery. We've had him do some voiceover. He came into the writer's room right before Christmas so we could all see him. And of course we were so thrilled. But the good news is that the doctors are all saying that it's going to be 100% recovery, but he really went through some stuff. How did you react when you heard Mark was fast-forwarding the show 5 years?
I thought it was brilliant because it rejuvenates the show, rejuvenates the writers. They get to drop storylines which they don't like, create new ones, and then they have this 5-year sort of pool behind them from which to choose from. 2 years ago you had a car accident, 3 years ago you got a divorce, something like that. So it's been amazing and done exactly what you hoped it would do.
I never asked you this, but I remember walking in there going, okay, I'm talking to actresses, so I better just get this out there real quick, because I quickly...
Did you hear at first he wanted 10 years and we would all just be so old?
No, and I had to say really quickly, now no one's going to look older. So I said that before anyone, threw stuff at me. Did you even think about that part of it?
No. I didn't, but what's really interesting when you see the show now? The guys have aged. Ricardo's got a little gray in his hair, and the guys are look older. We, on the other end, look younger than ever. Yeah. They're now following us around with lights everywhere we turn. They're like this. Does one of the twins still think he's a father? Remember how...
Oh, that's a good question. God, you know what? I am now completely mortified on abc.com because we resolved it for Lynette, but we haven't resolved it because I always assumed Lynette would have told him, but we didn't show that scene, so that's a good point.
Maybe he thinks he's a father.
You know what? You've caught me on something. I'm intrigued with you. Good job. Have you ever stolen a prop from the set?
Oh my God, Nathan! You've been following me around the camera? I do. I have this thing, and I think it's from being in the theater for years that I go. I steal food from the craft service table.
Well, that's not stealing. We actually provided.
I know, but I take them home. Bags of granola.
Oh, that is that.
Okay. And then, yes, I do. I steal kids' books and pens. So I do a little bit.
Thank you, Nathan, because I have to call business affairs right now and have some stuff deducted from Felicity's salary.
What was your inspiration for the show?
The inspiration came from a conversation with my mother where we were, and this is an oft-told tale.
Tell it again.
I'll tell it one more time for abc.com. I was watching coverage of the Andrea Yates trial with my mother. She, of course, is the woman who tragically drowned all her children in a bathtub down in Texas. And we're sitting there in her condo in Brea, California, and I turn to her and I say, gosh, can you imagine a woman being so desperate that she would hurt her own children? To which my mother replied, she took her cigarette out of her mouth and went, I've been there. And I was kind of stunned, and I always thought of my mom as the perfect wife and mother, a woman who, aspired to nothing more than to just raising her kids and, getting dinner ready for her husband. And suddenly I found out that there had been many, many times of just sheer desperation where she was alone and very unhappy. And I thought, gosh, you're like the perfect wife and mother. So if you've been unhappy, that means every woman who's had those roles has been unhappy. At least that was my take on it. And so I started to think, I want to write about this. And that's how the ball got rolling. There you go. show. Thank you for being on my talk show, Felicity Huffman.
No, thank you for being on my talk show, Marjorie.
Oh, God. More diva-like attitude from one of TV's brightest stars.
Thank you for watching, and watch the next all-new Desperate Housewives Sunday, February 8th at 8 Central, right here on ABC.
Thank you so much, everyone at abc.com. See you later.
Bye.